Hello, my beautiful people. I'm so blessed and I'm so thankful to be featured on Brother Calvin's Instagram live series. Faith Factor is coming up. It's less than 2 hours. I'm trying to tell you, you don't want to miss it. Me and Brother Calvin.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Brother Calvin, here for another smash episode of The Faith Factor. Absolutely, we're coming this episode with two special guests, so let's get started. Our first guest, I'm bringing her in the building. We are waiting for her to accept the request. We are waiting. Oh, she's in the building. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only JoJo Lactrice.
It is I. Hi.
Hey, what's going on?
Nothing much. Just maintaining during this pandemic and staying busy and focused, and that's it.
Absolutely. For those who do not know, she is one of the co-hosts of one of the bangingest shows in the DMV area, the Out the Box show. Tell them where they can find and check out the Box.
So you can check us out every Thursday at 7 p.m. on RIP Radio Network. You can also find us on our Facebook platform, each of our individual ones. So if you follow me on Facebook at Jonee Simmons, OneeSimmons, you could definitely watch it live there. Out the Box Radio, so it's OTB_show on Instagram. So yes.
Oh yes, I'm excited to have you in the building. Cause
I'm excited to be here.
I done been on Out the Box like 59 times.
Yes, you have.
And I love every second of it. I love y'all. Y'all are amazing hosts, and y'all show is always fun. So I want you to tell us about where you grew up and how you got your start in entertainment.
So I grew up in Baltimore City, and I'm a PK. So those that don't know, a preacher's kid.
Hallelujah.
Yes, hallelujah. It wasn't anything like, I literally was born into it. My dad started preaching at the age of 10 and a half. And he started pastoring. I think I was 2 years old when he started pastoring. So I literally was born into the life. So, but here in Baltimore City, and then I started the entertainment industry around, I think I was like 9, doing modeling. I was modeling first. I wasn't even like dealing with acting at all. It was modeling. And then later on, probably once I got to high school, like in the end of middle school, high school, I jumped into acting. So yeah, since then, I'll be 33 this year. This is my Jesus.
Hey!
Okay.
Turn up. When's your birthday?
September 19th.
Hey, man, October 22nd. We right behind each other.
Right behind each other. So yeah, my Jesus year. So yeah, if you think about it, like 8th grade up until now, I've been doing the whole acting thing off and on.
Do you remember your first acting role?
Yes, I did a commercial for Fox Sports that aired in like the Pennsylvania area. Not Avenue. Pennsylvania area.
You saw Baltimore. Over there on the ass. Over on the ass.
That was my first.
She meant the state, ladies and gentlemen, in Pennsylvania.
Right, the state Pennsylvania. But yes, that was my first job. I even remember my lines.
Oh, snap.
I was like 10.
Hit us with the line.
Watch Fox Sports. Catch the daily scores, highlights, and interviews without clicking the dial.
Yeah, you killed that. That's talent right there. That's when you got it naturally. When you can go back to when you were 10 and just like that.
Yeah,
come
it was
on.
monumental for me. So listen, I recite. It was that short. those little bit of lines, but I recited those every single day, a million times a day, to the point where now at 32, it's etched in my mind.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so what will happen next? What was your next move in acting?
I took a long break. I did, so once I got to high school, I did a little bit of modeling, not so much acting.
Okay.
Once I got to high school, I started to really understand the industry and the bias in the industry for young like me. I am a Black woman, or at the time a Black girl, and I've never been small. Okay, I've never been a small girl. I've always been thicker than most. So going to auditions and hearing, you know, you're not what we're looking for. What we're looking for something. They were very specific about what it was that they were looking for. So at that age, I was discouraged, honestly. Right. So I stepped back, focused on school, went to college. I went to the real HU, which is Hampton University. Don't scratch your head. The real HU. So
you know what that was? That was
so
disclaimer. This does not represent the values of the Faith Factor.
Right.
Like that's what she said.
Tried it. But no, like I left for college and I was really focused on school. And then once I finished, it wasn't until about, I say 5 years ago that I jumped back into acting. I kind of got to the point where I was like, you know, I can't run anymore. I love it. It's a missing portion. I got back into it, and my first role was a short film that I did for a writer producer in Philly. So I drove all the way to Philly. That was my first audition since my hiatus. Drove to Philly, did the audition, got the part, and it's been ever since.
Now you started in acting and got your relaunch in PA. Isn't that something?
Yeah.
Wait, take us back to college. What was your major?
English arts.
English. Okay. Come on, English.
Minor in theater.
Ha.
It started off as my major was theater, but then I thought about it and I'm like, listen, you know, I love theater, I love acting, but this may not pay the bills. So I love English. I've always been great in English, even since high school, middle school. So I did an English major and a theater minor. So if the theater thing or acting thing did not go the way that I planned, I had something to fall back on.
Absolutely. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit more about this here. What some don't know, but I know because you told us on your show that you also sing. Talk about your musical background.
So I don't have a musical background. So I'm not the singer in my family. My brother is. A lot of people may or may not know him, but he's Mandela Simmons. That is my baby brother, and he is phenomenal. Like, when we talk about not only singing but just being anointed, it's crazy. That is him. Now I can sing, but I'm like a shower singer. I don't have a musical career, and it's so crazy because when I'm looking for auditions and things, I shy away from the ones that's like, you know, sing.
Right. And you know, with musical theater, that's all you do is sing. You don't even act in the audition.
I'm so
you get up there, you sing.
I am nervous when it comes to singing. Like, I can act all day. You give me a character, you say action, I can do it. But when it comes to singing, I get so nervous. And I think it's because when you're singing, it's literally you. Like, people will judge you. When you're acting, you're not you. You're the character. You are that person. You're acting their lives out, whether it's fictional, non-fictional, whatever. But when you're singing, it's like you're naked and people are like paying attention to you and, you know, the notes that you had or don't
hit. I know all about that time.
So,
hallelujah.
Yeah, right. I shy away from that.
Okay. So what have you learned during this quarantine?
So what I will say is, for me, it hasn't quite been a quarantine. Thank God that I have been extremely busy, so it hasn't stopped. What I will say is that I have become more busy now that the whole entire world has shut down. I haven't had an opportunity to stop like most people and kind of just sit and reflect and think. I have not had that opportunity. What it has taught me is that I am blessed. The fact that I'm still able to work and I'm still able to bring in income and take care of myself and my household, which I am extremely grateful for. Right. So for me, that has been what I've learned during this quarantine.
Absolutely. Have you been working on any projects that are about to be released or about to premiere in the coming months?
No, I was actually due to film a series for a network, but then the pandemic hit, so we were not able to film or anything. So what I've noticed since yesterday, there are talks of starting production back up, probably in like the end of July, August.
Right.
But I have not been able to do anything as far as the entertainment industry during this whole quarantine or pandemic that we're in.
Okay.
But something is coming, guys. So
absolutely. So let's rewind. How did you become a part of Out the Box?
So I became a part of Out the Box. Justin and I met on set. We were doing a pilot for a internet it's like I would say a show that was on the internet. We were doing a pilot. That was my first time meeting Justin. We didn't have any, we had one scene together. And he reached out to me because he was being interviewed by a podcast, somebody that had a show, and he's like, hey, you know, they want to talk to actors. Do you want to come with me on the show? I'm like, sure. That was my very first time ever being on a radio show. I was super nervous. So I drove out. The interview went really well. And so afterwards, he's like, you know, I actually have my own show and I would love to bring you on as a guest. Or a guest co-host. So I came on, and that's where it started. I came on as a guest co-host, and then it just stuck to where I became permanent. And that was, 2 years ago.
Okay. Now, what do you like the most about being a host?
The thing that I like most is meeting people. I have met so many people that I would have never met had it not been for that show. Right. And I've learned so much about the industry because we do talk to a lot of people that are in the industry, which I feel like is a great thing because I'm in it. I'm still kind of new. There's a lot that I need to learn, and being able to talk to those people that are in it and like really in it and doing it, I learned so much, and you get so many relationships off of it. So that's the most rewarding thing.
Yeah. Okay. What are some of the things that you don't really like about it or wish could be better?
One thing that I want to say that I don't like about it is one thing that is something that you have to be mindful about is the preparation. being prepared, especially for me, because I have so much that's going on. I have my regular 9 to 5, and then I have businesses that I run. And so making that time to make sure that I'm prepared for the show can be a challenge at times. So if you had to say something that I didn't like, that would be it. That's the only thing.
Okay, we sitting here with an entrepreneurial queen. If you just tuned in, you're watching another episode of The Faith Factor with the one and only JoJo Lactrice. And so, with all of these business, Miss Entrepreneurial Queen, do you care to share a couple of those, or no? They on the
No, absolutely. So I have a tag and title. Called Empire Tag and Title. So all of your tag and title needs with your vehicle, I can help you. Also, I have a tow truck business. So if you've broken down, give me a call. Also, I just purchased a income property, my first income property back in November. So the renovation is on halt right now because I was selfish. I'm redoing my entire downstairs in my house. Okay. So I use the same contractor, so he's working on my house, which means that he can't work on the income property, but he's almost finished my house, and then he can go ahead and work on the income property. So I'm trying to get into real estate. And then my 9 to 5, I'm the human resources and operations coordinator for Admiral Security Services. So if you need a job, hit me up as well.
I'm so proud of you. That's a lot going on, and
thank you.
You've been keeping it moving.
It's a lot, which is why the quarantine has not really been a quarantine for me. Tag and title business, although I can't be there during operation hours, my mom is there, so that's a blessing. I trust her. She does an amazing job. The customers love her because she just has such a warm, inviting presence. I love my mommy. If you're watching, mommy, hi, I appreciate you. So, with MVA being closed, it's been an influx, which again, I'm so thankful for, and we are so very blessed. So, and then the tow truck business, I was a little nervous about, because I'm like, with everything being shut down, there's not going to be a lot of people outside, so they're not really going to need tows. How am I going to pay my people? But it has, unfortunately, but fortunately, it's been good. So people been getting into accidents, and they've been breaking down, and so they need to be told. So it's unfortunate, but like I said, fortunate.
So once again, I want to thank you for being here on this show. I finally got a chance to sit down and put the spotlight on you. Yeah. Can you tell everybody one more time about Out the Box? Do you call it radio or TV? Because it's both. So what do you call it?
We're Out the Box radio show.
Out the Box radio.
We're a radio show, but it's more like a podcast because you can see us.
Right.
So we're on a lot of platforms: Apple Music, Google Play, all of those. And then, of course, you can always log into RIP Radio Network's website to look at us. You can log on to our Facebook and look at us and listen to us. But we are Out the Box radio show on RIP Radio Network.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this has been JoJo Lactrice on The Faith Factor. Thank you, Queen.
Thank you, Calvin. Come back soon to us. We miss you, and
I will.
Yes.
I stay ready.
Doing, everything has been tele interviews.
I've seen it.
We'll probably be in the studio probably sometime in August, but still, we would love to have.
Yeah, absolutely. I stay ready. All right, take care.
Thanks for having me. Bye, guys.
Absolutely. See you next guest. Let's see if he's ready. We're waiting. The Faith Factor is waiting. Oh!
Hey! Cousin Calvin! What's up?
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor, it is my pleasure to present my little cousin, y'all.
Yes.
Justice Georgie is in the building, y'all. Give it up. The crowd is going, the audience is going wild in here.
Oh, snap.
Yes. Now we gotta shout out your mom, Janine. I saw her check in earlier. Janine, cousin.
Hey, mama.
Love ya.
Chin it back. Hey, mama. She heard me.
No, what's her salon? I'll be messing it up. I know it's Divine.
Yes, Divine Unity.
Unisex.
Salon.
Hey,
yes.
Check it out. Check it out.
Yeah.
All right, cuzzo. Tell us. Okay, I'm sorry. For the audience, he is an actor. He is a poet / spoken word artist. Yes. And he's probably some other things that he's going to drop on us that I didn't even know. But we about to get into it. Tell us how you got started with acting and poetry. You can pick one or the other and start.
Whoa. All right. So I'm gonna start off with acting because acting, like, theater has always been my first love.
Okay.
I remember I remember like growing up in Park Heights, and like I remember like we had direct TV at the time, and I will always watch Disney Channel. Like I will always like watch Zack and Cody and stuff like that. You already know, like the old time greats for me, for my generation, the old time greats. And it's like, you know, like I just watch it, and then like every now and then they would kind of have like episodes of like them showing backstage, but oh yeah, you know, like welcome to the life, you know, of acting and stuff. And like I see like these cool little wooden chairs that I probably break now, you know. I see, and then it's like I just see like the whole show business, and then like me as a kid, I'm like, oh my gosh, like that is so cool, like. Man, and then like I always had like an outgoing personality. So like I would always think like, you know, like, oh man, like that just seems so fun. Like I just really want to try to do that. So I can't remember my first time being on stage, but I remember like I just started acting like when I was like younger. When I was like younger, and like I would be in plays. And like it would just be like the best thing in the world. Yes. Like literally, like for me, acting, it's like an outlet for me. You know, it's like it's funny because it's kind of ironic because technically I'm portraying somebody else, but it's like, you know, a form of theater. You know, like for me is like it's where I'm my most self. You know, and it's like it's just like so fun, cousin Calvin. I'm trying to tell you.
You already know.
But you already know this, though. You're the superstar in the family. You already know this.
Come on, man. I'm talking to a superstar in the building. All right. So, do you get nervous when you go on stage?
Yes.
You do?
And it's funny because, like, I've been doing it since I was younger. But it's like the thing is, like, still to this day, I still get nervous. And I remember when, like, I be in plays, like my friend's like, Justin, like, you get nervous? I'm like, yeah, but it's like, the thing is, like, I don't know. It's kind of weird because, like, my best feeling is when I have butterflies.
Okay.
Like, I don't know. Like, I'm like, oh, my gosh. Like, I be seeing the lights flash on me, you know. I be seeing the crowd. And then, like, with me, like, I always had the mindset of, all right, cool, go big or go home. This is my time to shine. This is my spotlight. Even though I'm working with like a lot of people, this is where, you know, like I can show who Justice Georgie is, you know, and like I always, every single time I step foot on the stage, I always just like put everything out on the stage. I give it my all. Absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen, the first time I got to see my little cousin act was in the Black Nativity at Coppin. So,
Morgan, come on, Morgan.
Oh, my bad.
No, it's cool, but
Morgan.
I don't know if you can see it, but your boy rocking.
I see. You know I'm getting old, you know? Morgan State University, ladies and gentlemen.
I got love for Coppin, too.
Right. So, walk us through how did you prepare for your character? And whose idea was it to incorporate all like your spoken word in it and everything?
I'm glad you asked that. All right, so basically, right? So like the way it all went down, so I didn't know that there was going to be a play. I remember like I was just in class one time and like I just saw like flyers of who want to audition for the Black Nativity. Now me, like I'm a freshman, so I'm like, oh my gosh, this is my first this is my first time to audition for a college. Like this is great. So so I auditioned and everything. I eventually got the part, and then because like when I auditioned, I could sing a little bit, but they was like, all right, they asked me certain things. He was like, are you a singer, are you a dancer, or are you a poet? So I thought for me, I'm like, all right, cool. Let me think about versatility. Like, let me tell you, I can do this, that, and the third, and even for a big guy, I still got rhythm. You know,
come on,
I'm guaranteed this part. You feel me?
Won't he do it?
What? Yes, he will. So I was like, all right, bet, boop, I can sing. Yes, I'm a poet, and and I can dance. So then like they picked me, and then it was like, hey, Justice, like with you, like I want you to do rap. And I was like, for real? They was like, yeah, I want you and this other guy to do rapping, but you know, you guys, like our parts was kind of special because we were the only people who had a free realm of creative control, and that was really like weird. You know, because everybody else, like, you know, like everybody was like, what? They get to do their own thing?
Oh, they was hating. They was hating.
Yeah, they was kind of hating. Like, what? Like, it was like, so like everybody had their little, everybody had their lyrics, you know, because it was a musical, and like, they was like, Justice, Richard, y'all go sit in the back, you know, like y'all come up with y'all bars per se, you know, and like. Now, what you didn't know, right? I'm about to put you in the scoop.
The
now,
exclusive.
What you didn't know was the first bars I wrote. I gave it to the director. He was like, "Oh, this is trash." He was like, "I'm sorry, this is corny," and stuff. It's like I was working on it for a really good minute, and like I'm still kind of battling classes at the same time. I'm trying to write this good rap. So I'm like, dang, I was like, yo, like that hurt, like. He was like, look, man, yo, dig deep. He was like, really just like bring all your emotions out. So I was like, all right, bet. I went back to my dorm room. It seemed like I was writing all night. And then the next day when we had practice, I gave it to him. And he was like, I love it. You know, and then Richard brought his part. Now, Richard, you know, his rap name is Heat. He's like a professional, right? He's like an underground rapper who's been doing this, you know, for years. Okay. So like I had like I kind of, you know, I kind of like I don't know, it was kind of weird because like here I had this like experienced rapper. I'm not gonna lie, I'm just a poet, you know. And I was like, I'm like, oh man, like I gotta, you know. But I think me and him gelled together.
Yeah,
like,
it was
you
dope.
know, like we went in. So, but the
only did he actually say the word trash or did he? He
didn't say trash, but he said
okay,
corny.
good.
But you already know,
corny.
Us as performers, we are our worst critics. So somebody can say trash, somebody can say it's alright. In our head, it's the worst thing ever. You know?
Right,
so
right.
Like with me, like I take my craft very seriously. So I'm like, all right, you know, look, I had to really like show out. So yeah, man, and like I really think like we got the job done, man.
Yes, man, and I'm glad that he was honest like that because that pushed you to a place. You know what I'm saying that you had never been before. Yes, and so when you go back to that moment and remember that experience, what it felt like first being told this is corny and it's not going to work, and you had been working on it already, to going back like, all right, I got classes, I got to balance all of this stuff out. And I gotta get it done, and I gotta shut it down, and then to come back the next day, and then bring it. That man, that's beyond, man. And I commend you on that.
I'm trying to tell you, like it was only but God because like I was really like I was like yo like to me it was corny like I'm like yo like come like what like I kind of felt like Tyrese. I'm like what does he want from me? Like, I was really just like, oh, like, what's going on? But, like, the thing is, one of my biggest problems, you know, just in general is, like, for a long time, it was very hard for me taking criticism. Because in my head, every, like, criticism is just, like, a critique, you know, like, people putting you down. But, like, I had to mature. I had to be like, no, it's not like they calling my stuff, you know, garbage and stuff. It's just, like, they're trying to help me, you know.
You know you can do better. Yeah.
It's constructive criticism. So like me, like I took heed to that, and like I was like I listened, and like after our first show, you know, like he kind of like pulled me to the side. He said how proud of me he was, like just because that like I listened to all the advice and stuff. Because usually people would be like, "Yo, what?" Like it's Cousin Calvin. If you just sung you can sing, man. You wrote all the lyrics, bro. You sung your heart out, and then something like, "I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't feeling it." What you mean?
It still happens. It still happens.
Oh man. Oh no, man.
Yes.
It's hard, but like as a performer, like you gotta like you can't please everybody, but at the same time, if there's something within yourself that you can put more on the table, you know, then like you know you gotta definitely put more in the table. So I don't know, like I kind of feel as though for me, like I could have definitely done better. So like I'm just glad, you know, that like the the revision, the revised version, you know, I definitely came. Oh snap, my bad. All right, you ain't see that.
That's in the blooper reel, the bloopers. So what do you hope to accomplish in your career?
Oh man, that's a really great question. Wow. Well, like with me, so I always wanted to be an actor. Like I always wanted to be an actor, and then I want to say maybe like junior year I kind of changed my path because I stopped thinking myself as an actor, and then I started thinking myself as a storyteller. You know, I thrive on telling stories because if we don't tell our stories, then somebody else will. If you don't believe me, ask Tupac. If you don't believe me, ask Biggie. Ask Eazy-E. You know, like with Tupac, they had to get rid of. Look, I'm not trying to go into. All I'm saying is, you know, like I thrive on telling stories. So, you know, I had to expand my repertoire. You know, which is why, like, in college, you know, they asked like, all right, cool, what was your major? And just like Miss JoJo, you know, like. I always wanted to do theater. I was like, hey, you know, do you have theater as a major? I had college tours, you know, like everywhere. And like, you know, I hated the fact that like theater wasn't taken seriously, you know? And it's like, it was very disheartening for me because I'm like, yo, what you mean? Like,
come on.
Like people think about like, yeah, don't get me wrong. Yeah, you have your football, you have all of your athletics. Don't get me wrong. But it's like, the thing is, what do you watch every night? Hulu, Netflix, Disney Plus, and all this stuff. Like every different form of media comes with that aspect, you know, of storytelling comes with that aspect of like media drawing you in, which is like, you know, and it's like
hallelujah, you're talking to that.
It just really got to me, you know. So but I then realized at the same time, you know, like I feel as though that there's more to me than acting. So which is why I kind of wanted to expand. So like public speaking, I did a lot of public speaking, and senior year I became the student ambassador of my new school. So I was featured on the news. I met the then mayor and stuff like that, you know, and like I was like, hello, my name is Justice Georgie and stuff, and like I said, like I was like basically in the spotlight, you know, just like kind of like a form of storytelling. Like I was telling, you know, my experiences at ACE. And then junior year, I was like the junior vice president, but like I was on the intercom like, hello everybody, my name is Justice Georgie, you're junior vice president and stuff. And it's like people went up to me like, yo, your voice, I have a very distinctive voice. Like, yo, is that you that be on it? Yeah, like, yo, man.
You talking about high school right now, right?
Yeah, yes, I'm talking about high school. He was like, oh, you was doing really good. I'm not gonna lie. And it's like then I was like, wow, like I kind of like doing this. Don't get me wrong. Theater is always like, you know, like theater is always like my first love. I was like, I kind of like this, you know. And then I started photography in senior year, and then it's like that's another form of storytelling, you know, like like telling my story through my pictures,
visual arts,
you know. And like I just kept on like doing all of these things, you know, kept on stacking my belt, kept on like stacking and stacking, and then I'm like. If somebody asks me, like, all right, what are you? Like, are you an actor? Are you a poet? I'm a storyteller.
Come on.
And I honestly feel as though, like, not just me, but, like, I feel as though that everybody's a storyteller, you know? Like, whether you're a mechanic, you know, whether you're a truck, like any way, like, a form of storytelling, like, it lives with all of us.
Right.
You know, and like I definitely, you know, see like there's like if there's a big storyteller, you know, in our family, it's definitely you, you know, and like all the things that you did, and it's like I be saying you know, like on our social media page, you know, like on your page and stuff, and like just like how like the family talk about you, like, oh, like I ain't gonna hold you, cousin Calvin really be doing his thing, but it's like our family, like just like with our family as a whole. Like we really like oh my gosh, we be grinding, cousin Calvin, like
right,
and it's
athletes
like,
and entrepreneurs and
oh my gosh, scientists, you know, we
they out there
you
killing
know,
it.
like reverends, doctors, and it's
McMullen in the building, McMullen, you know.
I love how like in our family, like all of us, you know, like we were all brought up in church. You
right.
know, like
Hold on, you frozen.
I bet somebody's
say that again. You said we was brought up in church. Yep. You said we was brought up in church.
So yeah, so I can honestly say that like all of my family members, you know, like was literally like somebody keep calling me. I'm so sorry, cousin Calvin. Can you hear me?
I can.
So I can take two. I can honestly see, you know, I can honestly say that like all of our family members, you know, like was brought up in the church. You know, and like a lot of people, you know, can't say that. Like all of my success in life, all of my trials, all of my errors, you know, like I wouldn't be here, you know, if it wasn't for my love, like of God, you know. And I'm just like so thankful that like two of one of God's best disciples, you know, like can both commune on a call and just talk about what the faith factor, you know, like this is beautiful, man. And I know like up in heaven they done celebrating, you feel me? Like it's just phenomenal, man.
So what challenges do you face, or have you faced in your career so far? Besides the man telling you that your rap was corny. I mean, your spoken word was corny.
Well, I want to say one of the biggest challenges for me was just like where my mindset was, because like growing up, like I didn't have like the best childhood, just because like I was kind of like following the wrong path. Like I was trying to be accepted by people, you know, I was trying to kick it with the cool guys, like, you feel me? And it's like I just like, you know, I wasn't trying to be myself because I just stood out in front of everybody, you know. And it's like my biggest thing is like people see me like, you know, like, oh man, like you have manners, like you do this, but then like, you know, like your behavior in school is just crazy. But then every time when they see me perform, you know, on stage, it's like I'm a completely different person. And they be like, yo, like, where's that at? And I would never forget. Yeah, and it's like, you know, like they be like that, and like I never forget. Like this really broke my heart. Like I remember I was in 7th grade. So I was in middle school. I went to Cardinal Shin, and like I was one of like the stars in Cardinal Shin. Like I always played the main character, right? So so my music director, which is like the theater director, she said, look, Justice, next year I'm gonna pick this role solely for you, you know, and like I want you to play Shrek. I was like, oh, all right, cool, yes, ma'am. So a year had passed. Now I'm in 8th grade, right? So like, everything, you know, going good. Like I'm practicing my accent for Shrek and everything. Of course, I got the bill, you know. Like I'm just all right. Back. I'm like, all right. I can't wait, you know, to
hit us with the accent real quick. Hit us with the accent,
man. Cause I done lost it. I promise.
That was a long time ago. That was a minute ago.
It was a while ago, man. But I was mad at myself because like literally like the day before casting, I had gotten into a fight, you know, and it's like I messed up that whole opportunity. But like the thing is, she was so disappointed in me because she like, Justice, like, I really see bright things coming your way. But it's like if you keep on going the same route, you know, like you're not gonna be nothing, basically. You know, like if I kept letting like the enemy, you know, take over, you know, then really like I wouldn't be here today. You know, and it's just like, of course I didn't get to play Shrek, you know, as like a punishment. And it's like that was kind of like an obstacle that I had to overcome because I couldn't forgive myself. So then I told myself before I went to high school that like I would change. That like, you know, like I believe I'm gonna let God, you know, like take the wheel and stuff. And it's like I'm gonna really be the man, you know, that like I know that like God sees me to be, you know, like when I grow up. So I went to Ace, changed my whole life, got the honor roll, you know, I was really like the poster boy. So like my other obstacle was like there was no drama club. Now every school I went to, from elementary school to middle school, there was always like a theater, like there was always something along that nature, you know. And it's like I was like, hey, you know, like do you have a drama club? He was like, drama club? No, we don't have that. And I was like, what? And it's like I told you, we're like, oh my gosh, our group, we're the most slept on. I swear. We are the most slept on. So
what's the name of your group?
I said like our group. Like, you know, our group as a theater people, you know, as actors. We're the most slept on. So I said, all right, cool. So sophomore year, I said, all right, you know what? I'ma just create my own drama club. So I made a drama club, and it was called the Theatrical Association.
Dang.
Along with like other people, because we have so much talent. But for
That's
some
awesome.
reason in our city, like we're so talented and gifted, but in our city, like it's kind of like if somebody can sing, it's kind of oh no, yo, you soft, you know. And it's like if somebody, you know, can really like unless you rapping about the wrong things, unless you rapping about negativity, it's like oh, and it's like oxymoron. Like what? Like where did it? Where's the shift at? You know? So yeah, man. So I really say like in my life, like I had like a lot of trials and errors, but like I'm gonna say my scripture, man. I'm trying to tell you, Philippians chapter 4, verse 13. I can do all things through Christ Jesus who strengthens me. Yes. And I will rap that until I die. I'm trying to tell you.
Yes. Now, before we get too deep in Instagram, because you know they just cut us off, the people are ready for this performance that they didn't know about. So tell us the name of the piece, and then take us there.
All right, yes, sir. All right, so my piece is called Charm City's Outcry. While we all right.
Did they call you again?
No, it's weird. So like my phone was like 20%. Yo, I swear, the devil really tried to get us off. Like
not 20%.
All right. Are you ready, guys? You ready?
All right, go ahead before they cut you off again.
All right. All right, Mom.
What she said?
She said, just say it. Hurry up. Okay, all right. Seriously. Why we kill each other? That's the same question I asked way back when. And currently to this day, there's no answer I've been longing for, even now, since I was a boy. I always wondered why were those loud noises coming from outside. His body became limp before the gunner fired. In the heat of the moment, he saw his life flash before his eyes. Then it stops. Me and my brother hiding our rims as we hear sirens from the cops. The damage was already done. The rescue was delayed. Was the hope of my city if everybody ever getting sprayed. That's just reality. Seeing someone one day and had he died the next is just a karma calamity. We become so emotionally desensitized to pain, we don't even know how to think rationally. If I die, we all die. If you spray, we spray. This is not what Kendrick meant when he said he got loyalty in his DNA. Look, man, I know it hurts. Having to live through the pain of a society that doesn't care to see your worth. So you lie, steal, and kill one another just because you're suffering. Now the mother of the kid you robbed sent her final goodbyes to her son that was murdered in cold blood in the lowest fashion. Now you're going away for life. Was $10 really worth that action? J. Cole said change is slow, but change will never happen in my community if the number of these murder rates continues to grow. I mean, honestly, our leaders are dying off, and those old heads are still locked up in the pen. All the while, these babies are growing up without daddies or father figures to teach them how to be men. So what we ought to do is create safe streets and cease fire. I say let's spread love in our community first. It'd be a start to creating our very own Black empire.
Ooh, that fire! Ladies and gentlemen, you have just witnessed the incredible storytelling gift of my little cousin, Justice Georgie. I don't know why I keep doing that. I'm old. Justice Georgie. Sheesh, I be tongue twisted and everything. I should roll a blooper reel of this show. Man, that was incredible. What is your writing process when it comes to spoken word? Like how do you come up with like your theme and what you actually want to tell your story about in a particular piece?
All right, so with me, like every time when something has really been bothering me, every time when I've really been like troubled, and like I just really like gun violence, which is why like I try my best to really like branch off, because people like, oh my gosh, why is your poem so depressing, blasé? But it's like the thing is like the sad reality is this is my reality, you know, like this is the stuff that I see on a daily basis in my city, you know, and like instead of adding on to the fire, you know, I tried my best to put, you know, to spin it and put in a productive way to how to stop the violence, you know. So like every time when I like other poets, you know, they just, oh, I want to talk about love, you know. Other poets be like, I like cereal, you know. Other poets just they can talk about anything, you know. But it's like in my heart, in my spirit, like if my spirit hasn't been troubled, if my if my spirit hasn't been like wavered on a certain topic, you know, then I can't write, you know. So like so that's so Charm City's outcry, like I really like, I know like a good amount of people who literally lost their lives, you know, with gun violence that has been to my school, you know, that like I've watched, you know, the sad reality, and like even family members, you know, that have been like close to me and dear. So yeah, so like every time when like I pick up like, you know, a pen and like and write on a piece of paper, like everything I say is from the heart.
And that's what's up. And you can tell that passion, that gift, and that calling is all over you, man. I'm so proud of everything you're doing. I follow as much as I can. I will continue to pop up like I did at the Black Nativity. I'm like, let me make something. Let me come to something for a change.
I really appreciate it, man. And Cousin Calvin, it keep me in the loop because, like, you know, you was at Wonder Woman, you know, Harriet Tubman, you know, and other projects, you know, that's on a hush hush that I don't even know about. You know, so like, yeah, so like, you know, just like let me know and stuff so I can put it in my calendar so I can definitely support, you know, because like, yo, like we family. Now, like, not only we Black, we got to stick together, but you know, like we blood, you know, so I definitely, like, any way I can, you know, to support you, you know, like, definitely, like, I'll definitely be there, man.
Absolutely. I appreciate that. So we're not done yet. Let's see. If you had to do a movie about your life, who would play you growing up to where you are now?
Oh, wow.
I love this question.
Not like you kind of caught me off guard. I'm not going to hold you, man. Like, you can't be doing that.
Hey.
Wow. All right. Wait. I got this.
Okay.
They gotta look like me too. Like,
I mean, maybe.
Dang, man, I wasn't even prepared. You got like.
Okay.
Really,
okay. Well, let me ask you this then. Have you thought about your dream role? Like, I gotta do this in my career, period.
You know what? Yes, my dream role, like, I always wanted to do something that's like kind of like that's not me. You know, I always wanted to try new things. So like with me, like, I'm very loud. You know, like, I'm very passionate about things, and it's like I would love to play like I don't know, like a person who's, let's say, like he's kind of like frightful, you know, like he barely talks, or like felt like I love, like with me, like being on stage, I love a challenge. Like somebody give me a challenge that, like, you know, I never want to be. I'm not going to name the actors, you know, they might be watching this, but I never want to be like, I never want to be that actor who's like, oh, he's a comedian, so all he's going to be is in this comedic role.
Right.
You know, like I don't want to be, oh man, oh, he's really big and buff. So every movie he's gonna be is in like a adventure role. You know, like I don't want to do that. Like I want to be very like versatile, like in my style. You know, in my craft. So like anything that challenges me, like I'm trying to, like a Will Smith. Will Smith, I'm trying to tell you, man.
Yes. He
went from West New Bern, born and raised, to then being a genie, you know, and then to being an I Am Legend, Men in Black. It's like with his stuff, you know, and then kind of to other actors who's like, they're really good, but all of their scenes is deep. Ain't nothing wrong with that, you know, but it's like, if you think of a movie like, oh, well, he's not going to be in this like comedy movie, you know?
Right.
So, like, really, I don't know if I answered your question, but I would really want to play like a role. That's
you
like
did. You want a challenging role that's not like you at all, so you can dive in and become the character, bring the character to life. And
I know, like I'm still learning as an actor, so like I'm still trying, like I'm still learning. So I don't know. I would just like love to do that, man. Like that's really the dream, just to be somebody that I'm not. Like I don't want, like, you know. So yeah.
Would you ever do a poetry book?
Whoa, snap! Actually, I never even thought about that, to be honest.
Okay.
Might have to
no, wait. Do you archive? right.
I ain't gonna hold you, man. I got my notes right here. Like
that's what we here for, man. But while you writing that, have you? Dang, I lost my question. Poetry book. I lost the question.
Calvin, you are getting old, man. What's up? Stop laughing.
Oh, I got it back. Okay. And you just reminded me that, because I was about to respond and say, because that question was on the top of the dome, and that was my question for you. Do you actually archive your poetry, or do you just flow up the dome and keep it locked up here?
Oh yeah. Actually, I do. So, all right. So, guys,
You see what your mother put? Your mother put archives.
I'm dead. So recently, I had to delete a lot of poetry from my phone, right?
Okay.
Recently, I had to do it, you know, because like my iPhone not backed up. I don't got Wi-Fi. Apparently, you need Wi-Fi. I don't know, so I had to delete a lot of stuff. So then, but I was smart, because everything I deleted, I have on my page. You know? So like, it's like anything, I'm like, I could just rewrite it, you know, from listening to myself on my Instagram page.
Got it.
So yeah. So I mean, I guess in a formal way, I do archive it.
Okay. You know, another way to archive it is, you know, just the text of it is to send yourself an email, or you know, you start a Word document or whatever, and you put all of them in there, one after the other. You know, like you just put like 2 spaces and then the next one. Don't think about it like page then page. Right. If you got 2 pieces on the same page, that's fine. Just leave a big space so you know it's a different piece. But just put them all in this big Word document, save that, and then email it to yourself like every 2 months or something like that. Like when you add something new, just email the whole document back to yourself. That's another way to do it as well, just so you can have it archived.
That's really good advice. I appreciate that.
You know, I try to do what I can for the community. All right, now the time is really getting low. Any final words? Where can we find your poetry? Are you on YouTube? Do you have a website? What's going on? Tell us where we can find you.
Yes. All right. So So I encourage everybody to add my Instagram. It's Justice at Justice the Official, as well as I have a website, and it's located within my bio in Justice the Official. Also, guys, I started up a new business. It's called Embrace My World Unlimited, where you can book me for gigs as well as open mics for poetry, as well as I will be selling my photography as well. So I'm trying to do a thing where like you can like kind of like buy it on my website. And I recently talked to Micah earlier today. I had a business meeting. So eventually, guys, I got y'all. So eventually, right, y'all gonna see my photography sold in a Micah store. All right, so just wait on it. But you can only follow me to stay informed.
Hey. All right, Cuzzo, thank you so much for joining me here on the Faith Factor. I love you, man. I'm proud of everything you're doing and what you're about to do.
All right, I'm gonna definitely keep you posted, man. I'm trying to tell you, we got this. We're gonna rule the world.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, man. Take care, Cuzzo.